Adam locked the small apartment door and listened for a second to make sure everything was quiet. He walked to the bedroom and looked at his son sleeping under a thin blanket. Leo was 6 and his face still looked peaceful even when the world felt hard. Adam stood there longer than usual because moments like this felt rare. He had learned that a single dad must notice the small things that keep a child safe. He checked the window latch and the night light and then whispered a soft good night. He did not wake Leo because sleep was the only place where worry could not reach him. Adam worked nights in a tall office building downtown. The job title was simple and the work was simple, but the weight of life was not simple. He cleaned floors and checked doors and replaced broken bulbs and carried trash to the back room. He did it all because steady money mattered more than pride. He never told Leo how tired he felt because Leo needed a father who looked steady. Adam packed a small lunch, put on his work jacket, and stepped out into the damp night. Rain tapped the sidewalk and the street lights made the wet road shine. The office tower rose above the street like a quiet giant. Most windows were dark because the day workers were gone. Only a few floors showed light and those lights felt far away. Adam swiped his badge at the lobby gate and nodded to the security camera like it was an old friend. The lobby smelled like polished stone and clean air. He signed the log, checked the radio, and took the service elevator up. The elevator hummed and the numbers climbed and the city sounds faded behind thick walls. On the executive floor the carpet was soft and the halls were wide and silent. Adam pushed his cleaning cart with slow steady steps. He wiped fingerprints from glass doors and straightened chairs in empty meeting rooms. He liked how the building felt at night because it did not pretend. In the day people rushed and smiled and acted important. At night the building only asked for quiet work and honest effort. Adam moved room to room until he reached the largest conference room at the end of the hall. He unlocked the door, switched on a low light, and started cleaning. He wiped the long table and stacked the cups and fixed the chairs. Halfway through he heard soft footsteps behind him. Adam turned fast because nobody was supposed to be there that late. A woman stood in the doorway with a coat pulled tight around her shoulders. Her hair was tied back and her face looked pale under the lights. She looked like someone who had not slept enough for many days. Adam recognized her, even before his mind accepted it. Her picture was in the lobby next to the company name in big letters. She was Mara, the CEO. In public she always looked sharp and calm and untouchable. In this room she looked like a person trying to breathe. Her eyes moved quickly as if she feared being seen. Then she lifted one finger and pressed it gently to her lips. She spoke in a whisper that sounded like a request and a warning at the same time. "Please do not tell anyone you saw me." Adam felt his chest tighten because he did not understand what was happening. He nodded because his instincts said she truly needed that promise. Mara released a slow breath and stepped inside. She kept her voice low as she looked toward the hall again. "I just needed a quiet place for a little while." Adam moved his cart a bit to give her space. He did not ask questions because he could see she was not ready for any. Mara sat in a chair near the window and stared at the rain on the glass. For a moment she looked like she was somewhere else entirely. Adam returned to wiping the table, but his thoughts kept pulling toward her. He felt that something was wrong in a way that money and power could not fix. He cleaned slower now, careful not to make noise. After a few minutes Mara spoke again without turning her head. "You have a child, do you not?" Adam paused because he did not expect the question. He answered softly and kept his tone respectful. "Yes, I have a son." Mara nodded like she already knew that answer. "How old is he?" Adam swallowed and answered in the same calm voice. "He is 6. Mara gave a small smile that faded quickly. 6 is a good age. The room fell quiet again and the rain became the only sound. Adam finished cleaning and checked his list on the clipboard. He prepared to leave the room because his job had other floors to cover. As he pushed the cart toward the door Mara stood up quickly. Her eyes met his and for a second she looked like she wanted to say more. "Thank you for not asking questions." Adam nodded and kept his voice gentle. "Everyone needs a quiet place sometimes." Mara looked down like she was holding back something heavy. Then she straightened her shoulders and her face became more controlled. She walked to a side door that led to a private hallway. Adam watched her leave and felt a strange pull in his chest. He did not know why her presence felt important. He only knew it did not feel like a normal work moment. When she disappeared, the room felt colder. Adam turned off the light, locked the door, and continued his rounds. Yet the whisper stayed in his mind like a small echo. In the next week, Adam saw Mara again late at night. It happened first near the service elevator when he was carrying supplies. She stepped out of the shadows and her eyes widened when she saw him. Then she relaxed when she realized it was only him. She did not speak much, and she did not stay long. But she repeated the same request each time. "Please keep this private." Adam kept his promise without hesitation. He told himself it was not his place to talk about the CEO. He told himself he should focus on his work and his son. Still, he could not ignore what he noticed. Mara looked tired in a way that went beyond long meetings. Sometimes her hands trembled slightly when she held a phone. Sometimes her eyes looked wet even when she tried to hide it. One night he found her in a small break area near an empty office. She sat with her coat still on, as if she might leave at any second. Adam placed a fresh cup of water on the table without speaking. Mara stared at it for a moment like she forgot kindness existed. Then she said thank you in a voice that sounded too quiet for someone so powerful. Adam nodded and returned to his cart. But before he could leave, she spoke again. "Your son," she said, "does he like stories?" Adam looked back and answered carefully. "Yes, he loves stories." Mara gave a tiny smile that did not reach her eyes. "When I was small, I used to listen to stories to feel safe." Adam did not know what to say, so he only listened. Mara stared at her hands like they carried old memories. Adam went home that morning with her words in his head. Leo was awake and sitting at the kitchen table with crayons. He looked up and smiled wide as if the day was new and easy. Adam sat beside him and helped him color a simple drawing of a house. Leo asked why Adam looked far away. Adam told him he was only tired from work. But Leo watched him closely like children often do. That afternoon, after Leo fell asleep for a nap, Adam checked his phone. There was no message and no missed call. Still, he felt like something was shifting. That night at work, he opened his locker and found a small envelope inside. There was no stamp and no name, only his employee number written neatly. His hands slowed as he opened it because he feared trouble. Inside was a short note on clean white paper. "Thank you for your kindness. Some people forget that quiet strength exists." Adam read it twice and felt his throat tighten. The note was not signed, but he knew who wrote it. He folded it carefully and placed it in his pocket like it was something fragile. He did not show it to anyone. He returned to work, but his heart felt louder than the building. On his next shift, Mara appeared again, but this time her eyes held a question. She stepped close enough that her voice would not carry. "Did you get it?" she asked softly. Adam nodded and kept his face calm. "Yes," he said, "I got it." Mara looked relieved, but also sad, like relief came with a price. Then she leaned in and whispered the same line again. "Please do not tell anyone you saw me." Adam promised again, but something inside him shifted. He was not only protecting her secret now. He was also protecting a truth his heart could feel but his mind could not name yet. Mara looked at him like she wanted to trust him with more. Then she stepped back and vanished into the hallway like a shadow. Adam stood still for a moment and listened to the quiet. He did not know what her secret was, but he sensed it was tied to pain. He did not know why she kept coming to the building late at night. He did not know why she asked about his son like it mattered to her. But he knew one thing with strange certainty. This story was not ending with a simple promise. Some secrets do not stay hidden forever. And the single dad heart already knew the truth was coming. Adam noticed the change before he understood it. Mara no longer appeared only by chance. She seemed to wait for the hours when he worked. Some nights she stood near the window on the executive floor. Other nights she sat in a quiet corner of the lobby with her coat still on. She always looked relieved when she saw it was him. And each time she repeated the same request in a softer voice. Please do not tell anyone you saw me. Adam always agreed. Not because she was the CEO, but because something in her eyes asked for safety. He had learned that look from his own life. It was the look of someone carrying weight alone for too long. He did his work calmly and let her exist without pressure. That silence slowly built trust between them. One night the rain was heavier than usual. Thunder rolled far away and the building lights flickered once. Adam was mopping near the elevator when Mara appeared again. Her hands were shaking this time. She tried to hide it by folding them together. Adam noticed anyway. He always noticed. She looked at him and hesitated before speaking. Can I sit here for a moment? Adam nodded and leaned his mop against the wall. He moved a chair closer to the window so she would not feel trapped. Mara sat down and closed her eyes for a few seconds. Her breathing slowed little by little. The city lights reflected in the glass behind her. After a long pause she spoke again. You are very quiet, she said. Adam smiled slightly. Quiet keeps things steady. Mara nodded like she understood more than his words. She stared at the floor and then asked a question that surprised him. Do you ever feel afraid of failing your child? Adam did not answer right away. He chose his words carefully because this question mattered. Every day, he said. Mara looked up sharply and met his eyes. That honesty seemed to reach her. She swallowed and looked away again. I feel afraid too, she whispered. Adam did not ask what she feared. He waited. People spoke when they felt ready. Mara pressed her palms together and leaned forward slightly. Everyone thinks I have control, she said. They think money protects you from mistakes. But it does not protect your heart. Her voice shook at the end. Adam felt something heavy settle in the room. He recognized the sound of regret. He had lived with it since the day Leo's mother left. He did not judge her. He only listened. Sometimes listening was the greatest kindness. Mara seemed surprised that he did not interrupt. She looked at him again, and her eyes were wet. I made a choice years ago, she said. A choice that gave me everything people admire. But it took something I can never get back. Adam felt his chest tighten. He thought of missed school events and long work nights. He understood more than she knew. That night she left without saying more. But something had changed. The distance between them felt smaller. Adam carried that feeling home with him. Leo was asleep on the couch with a book on his chest. Adam lifted him gently and carried him to bed. He sat beside him longer than usual again. The next evening Adam was late to work. Leo had a school meeting and Adam did not want to miss it. He arrived at the building feeling rushed and guilty. As he walked through the lobby he saw Mara standing near the security desk. She looked around nervously until she spotted him. Relief crossed her face. She walked toward him quickly. You are late tonight, she said quietly. Adam apologized and explained about his son. Mara listened closely and smiled. It matters that you were there, she said. Adam nodded because he believed that deeply. They stood there for a moment longer than necessary. Then footsteps echoed and Mara stepped back. That night Adam found another envelope in his locker. This one was thicker. Inside was a simple card with a short message. Thank you for reminding me what matters. Adam closed his eyes for a moment. He did not know why her words affected him so strongly, but they did. Days passed and the routine continued. Work, home, school, late nights. But the quiet meetings with Mara became something he expected. She started asking about Leo more often. What games does he like? What makes him laugh? Adam answered carefully but honestly. He described small things. Drawing houses. collecting stones, listening to stories before sleep. Mara listened like each detail mattered deeply. Sometimes she smiled. Sometimes she looked like she was holding back tears. One night she surprised him with a request. "Would you tell me a story?" she asked. Adam laughed softly, unsure if she was joking. She shook her head. "I have not heard one in a long time." Adam thought for a moment. Then he told a simple story about a small boy and a brave father. He spoke slowly and quietly. The building around them seemed to disappear. When he finished, Mara wiped her face quickly. "Thank you," she said. Her voice was steadier now. "That was kind." Adam nodded and felt warmth spread through his chest. As weeks passed, Mara trusted him more. She no longer looked over her shoulder as often. She stayed longer. One night she finally spoke the words Adam felt coming. "I have a son too," she said softly. Adam felt his breath catch. She continued before he could speak. "I gave him up when he was very small. I thought it was the right choice. I told myself it would protect him. But I was wrong." Her hands trembled again. Adam felt pain rise in his chest. He did not ask why. Mara looked at him with fear and hope mixed together. "I have been searching quietly for years," she said. "And then I met you." Adam frowned slightly, confused. "You remind me of someone I lost. The way you speak. The way you protect your child." Adam's heart began to beat faster. Something in her words felt too close, too sharp. He remembered her first question about his son. He remembered the way she watched him. He remembered the envelope with his employee number. Pieces began to connect. Mara stood up suddenly like she had said too much. "Please forget I said anything," she whispered. Adam did not move. He looked at her carefully. His voice was calm but firm. "Some truths do not want to be forgotten." Mara's eyes widened. She stepped back and shook her head. "I am not ready," she said. Then she turned and walked away faster than usual. Adam stood there alone in the quiet hall. His hands felt cold. His heart felt heavy and alive at the same time. That night Adam did not sleep. He watched Leo breathe and thought about choices and time. He thought about the woman who hid in empty buildings. He thought about the secret his heart was already holding. He did not know the full truth yet, but he knew it was close. And when it came, nothing would stay the same. Adam felt the weight of the unspoken truth in every step he took the next day. The building felt quieter than usual, as if it was listening. Mara did not appear that night. Adam checked the lobby and the executive floor more than once. Each time he felt a small wave of worry. He told himself to focus on work. But his heart did not listen. At home, Leo was excited about a school project. He showed Adam a drawing of a tree with many branches. Adam praised him and asked what it meant. Leo said it was a family tree. Adam smiled but felt a sharp ache inside. He asked Leo where he learned about it. Leo said his teacher talked about families and stories. That word stayed with Adam all night. Stories. He wondered about the story Mara carried. He wondered how many nights she sat alone with regret. He wondered if some stories waited years to be told. Adam kissed Leo's forehead and promised to help with the project. Then he left for work again. This time Mara was waiting near the back hallway. She looked tired and nervous, like someone standing at a doorway to the past. When she saw Adam, she froze. Then she walked toward him slowly. "I did not mean to disappear," she said softly. "I needed time." Adam nodded because he understood that too well. They stood in silence for a moment. The air felt heavy with things unsaid. Mara finally spoke again. "You deserve to know something," she said. Adam felt his chest tighten, but he did not interrupt. "I did not give my child to strangers," she continued. "I placed him with a family I trusted." Adam's heart pounded harder. He remembered stories of closed doors and missed answers. Mara's eyes were fixed on the floor. I checked from a distance, she said. I told myself I was protecting him. But every year I felt more empty. Adam listened and breathed slowly. She lifted her head and looked at him carefully. When I saw you with your son, she said, I felt something I could not explain. The way you talk about him. The way you choose him every day. It reminded me of what I lost. Adam felt tears burn behind his eyes. He spoke quietly but firmly. Why are you telling me this now? Mara swallowed and her voice shook. Because I am tired of hiding. Because I see the man my child might have become. Because I see myself in you. Adam felt the world tilt slightly. He took a step back. The hallway seemed narrower. Are you saying, he began. Mara raised her hand gently. I do not know, she said quickly. I am afraid to be wrong. But my heart keeps pulling me here. Adam's thoughts raced. He remembered years of questions without answers. He had been raised by an older woman who said little about his past. He remembered wondering where he came from. He had stopped asking long ago. Life had demanded focus instead. Now the past was knocking loudly. Adam took a deep breath. He chose his words with care. I was raised by someone kind, he said. She loved me and gave me safety. But she never spoke about where I came from. I did not search because I had Leo to protect. Mara listened with wide eyes. She stepped closer. Do you know your birth date? She asked softly. Adam answered without hesitation. Mara's face changed color. Her hand flew to her mouth. That is the same day, she whispered. Adam felt his legs weaken. The hallway felt unreal. The lights buzzed faintly above them. Mara reached out but stopped herself. I left the hospital alone that day, she said. I told myself it was strength. But it was fear. Adam's heart felt like it might break open. Neither of them spoke for a long time. The truth sat between them like something fragile. Adam finally spoke. If this is real, he said, then we must be careful. Leo comes first. Mara nodded fiercely. Always, she said. I would never hurt him. Adam believed her. He could see it in her face. Tears slipped down her cheeks. She wiped them quickly. I do not want to disrupt your life. Adam thought of Leo sleeping peacefully. He thought of the stories he told. He thought of the man he had become. You would not be disrupting, he said gently. But we must go slow. Truth needs time. Mara let out a shaky breath. They agreed to take small steps. No sudden changes. No announcements. No broken routines. Mara would remain a quiet presence for now. Adam would protect Leo's stability. They would learn together. Days passed with careful calm. Mara did not visit the building as often. But when she did, she looked lighter. Adam felt steadier too. He found himself smiling more at home. Leo noticed and asked questions. Adam told him life sometimes brings good surprises. One evening Leo asked about his family tree again. Adam sat beside him with colored pencils. They drew branches together. Adam told him families are built with love and choices. Leo nodded thoughtfully. He added a new branch without explanation. Adam watched and felt hope grow. At work Mara left one final envelope in his locker. Inside was a simple note. Thank you for giving me a chance to be honest. Adam held the paper carefully. He felt fear and peace together. He knew challenges lay ahead. But he also knew the hardest truth was already spoken. That night Adam stood by Leo's bed and watched him sleep. He whispered a promise to protect him always. Some truths arrive quietly. Some heal slowly. And some change everything. Adam's heart already knew. This story was moving toward light. Adam felt calmer in the days that followed, but the calm was different from before. It was not the calm of routine. It was the calm that comes after a storm when the air feels new. He moved through work and home with more awareness. Every moment with Leo felt brighter and heavier at the same time. He understood now that life had been quietly preparing him. Nothing felt accidental anymore. Mara stayed away for a full week. She did not appear in the lobby or the halls. Adam respected the space because they both needed it. He focused on Leo's school project and daily routines. He walked Leo to school and listened to his stories. At night he cooked simple meals and read bedtime stories. Leo's laughter filled the apartment and grounded him. One evening Leo asked a question that made Adam pause. "Dad, do you think people can find each other again after a long time?" Adam looked at him carefully before answering. "Yes," he said, "I think some people are meant to meet again." Leo smiled and returned to his drawing. Adam felt warmth spread through his chest. Children sense truth even before adults named it. The following Monday, Adam arrived early at work. He felt nervous without knowing why. As he pushed his cart down the hallway, he saw Mara standing near the window. She looked calmer and stronger than before. When she saw him, she smiled slowly. It was not a public smile. It was personal and real. "Thank you for coming back," Adam said softly. Mara nodded and stepped closer. "I am ready," she said. Adam took a breath and listened. "I want to meet him," she continued. "Not as anything official. Just as someone who cares." Adam did not answer right away. He thought about Leo's feelings and safety. He thought about the trust they had built. Then he nodded. "We will do it gently," he said. Slow and honest. Mara's eyes filled, but she did not cry. They planned carefully. No big words. No pressure. Just a meeting in a normal place. A small park near Leo's school. Adam would be there the entire time. Mara agreed without hesitation. The day came with clear skies. Adam held Leo's hand as they walked to the park. Leo talked about a bird he saw near the school gate. Adam listened and smiled. Mara stood near a bench pretending to look at her phone. Her hands shook slightly. Adam gave her a small nod. Leo noticed her first. "Dad, that lady looks sad," he said quietly. Adam knelt beside him. "She is someone who wants to say hello." Leo looked curious, not afraid. Adam felt relief wash over him. Children trusted sincerity. Mara stepped forward slowly. "Hello, Leo," she said softly. Leo smiled and waved. "Hi," he answered. Mara knelt to his level, keeping space. "I like your drawing," she said, pointing at his paper. Leo brightened immediately. They sat together on the bench. Adam stayed close. Mara asked Leo about school and favorite games. Leo answered openly and laughed easily. Mara listened like every word mattered. Her face glowed with quiet joy. Adam watched and felt peace settle inside him. After some time, Leo ran off to play. Mara stayed seated and pressed her hands together. "Thank you," she whispered. Adam nodded. He could see how much it meant to her. That moment changed something forever. Not loudly but deeply. Days turned into weeks. Mara became a gentle presence. Sometimes she joined them at the park. Sometimes she sent books through Adam. She never pushed for more. Trust grew naturally. Leo accepted her without confusion. One evening Leo asked if Mara was family. Adam smiled and answered honestly. "Family can be built in many ways." Leo nodded and seemed satisfied. He returned to his game. Mara watched from the kitchen doorway. Tears slipped quietly down her face. Later that night, Mara spoke to Adam alone. "I do not need a title," she said. "I only need to be present." Adam respected that deeply. He knew she had learned from the past. They had both learned. Healing did not rush. At work things changed too. Mara no longer hid in hallways. She still respected Adam's privacy. She treated him with the same kindness as before. Nothing about his job changed except his confidence. He stood taller. He felt whole. One afternoon Adam received a letter. It was official but gentle. Mara had arranged support for Leo education. No announcements. No attention. Just opportunity. Adam felt gratitude without obligation. Years later Leo grew stronger and wiser. He never felt abandoned. He felt supported by many hands. Mara remained part of his life in her own way. Adam continued working with pride. The past no longer haunted him. It had found its place. One quiet evening Adam stood by the window watching Leo sleep. He thought about whispered words and hidden truths. He thought about fear and courage. Life had tested him and rewarded him quietly. Some secrets break people. Some bring them together. This one healed them all.